Did it just start? Has it been going?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I haven't played the last few weeks, but
I don't know who fucking Pat Mayo is.
Hey.
Huh?
you know who Pat Mayo is?
No, I've never heard of Pat Mayo.
Yeah. You need to get with it, Arms.
Oh, okay.
Need to
Need to get with it.
really need to get with it.
Apparently, I need to get with it.
Need to get with it.
No. No.
Oh, this thing's a piece of shit. Hey.
So, new podcast been listened to. Scared to Death by Dan Cummins. Pretty good.
He's got another one?
Yeah.
God. What the heck, Dan?
You know how he's so skeptical and fucking tears everything down to oblivion? Like, there's no way this happened. It's complete bullshit.
Go pull that chair over here, Hux, or you just go sit over there?
He basically,
TV, where am I putting it at?
right there.
Right there. There's a mic set up.
You're just our off-screen guest.
I need you to talk into it so I can, see what we got going on. Be careful of the camera. Please try to pay attention, Hux. I can't spill a beer on you this time.
Yeah. I mean, he can. It's just going to take more effort. Roar! You guys, anyone want a natural light seltzer? It's the Catalina lime mixer.
No, I'm pretty good on that.
Did you guys try them?
I'm pretty good. I don't need Catalina wine mix. What
Lime, Catalina lime mixer.
I don't know.
Like the Catalina wine mixer. It's natural light though. It's natural light seltzer.
Weird stream tonight.
I can leave. I mean,
I don't want you to leave.
I knew he'd get all kinds of crab mentality on you there. Don't do it, Neil.
Don't do it, Neil.
Be
Just
happy.
Punch that motherfucker.
Just be happy.
Robert better not get in my face.
Talk into that, Huck, so I
I'll
can
drop
see.
that motherfucker.
I've never used that mic. I don't know.
Am I plugged in?
Yeah.
Am I turned off? Am I muted?
Huh?
Will I have headphones?
You can.
I'd like to.
Hello.
Can you talk into that mic real quick before I do that?
I mean, I'm trying to, Barker. I'm all fucked up.
Keep going.
Neil's pissing me off.
Keep going.
like I said,
Being in my
I
spot.
can leave.
I don't want you to leave.
I don't want you to
Well,
leave.
they make me feel uncomfortable.
Okay, talk into it now.
Are you kidding me? I just did all that for nothing.
I'm good.
I can't hear him.
Huh?
You can't hear me.
I hear him.
I can't hear shit. I legitimately can't hear anything through my headphones. Like nothing at all. Someone speaking to the mic, please.
Speaking to the mic.
I can hear you.
You can't hear in your.
Like the new bandwagon Raiders fucking toboggan.
Oh yeah, bandwagon Raiders toboggan.
First Raiders gear I've ever seen you wear. Ever.
It's got my fucking name embroidered on it.
What does that matter?
It's not spelled right for one. T, isn't it?
Are you fucking serious? Dude, I've got like 3 Raiders shirts and 2 of them are jerseys.
Stop it.
And I think I've only got 1 Raiders hat. And I didn't even buy it. It was a gift from my brother-in-law. I don't wear hats, though. Probably should, though. Going bold.
Well,
They make them big enough?
They do.
To be fair, you're not going bold. You are bold. I'd be like me saying I'm getting fat.
stupid thing.
You're kind of a dick. You want my laptop? Okay. I was gonna say pretty much everything I need's written down. Dude, I use Pro Football Reference for like everything for statistics, and I think the website's fucked. I keep getting congratulations, you were the 1,000th person for Frontier. I'm like, God damn it.
That's no good.
No good at all.
And I haven't even watched any porn on this.
Hey, I hope
What?
no kids are watching the live stream. You
Oh,
know
didn't
how,
know
how
it
big
was
we are
on.
with the children. Of course, I'm kidding. So, we've got the stream up and running. We are in a studio that is cold as ice. Cold
It's
as
not that bad
ice.
in here.
No, it's not now.
Well, Hux is wearing shorts because he's a weirdo.
He's a little.
I
he's
got
a little out
flip-flops
there.
on too.
A little out there. A little-
I don't know. I just don't know what's wrong with you.
Streaming, oh streaming. dun da 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 dun da dun da 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 dun. Streaming, oh streaming. Don't you like to stream?
Jackson's up 63-21.
I saw that. Well, it should be about final, isn't it?
Yeah,
63.
I mean it's over.
Yeah. And, it was almost over. Like
My
final.
God. 63.
63 in a playoff
Game.
Talk, Neil. I don't know if yours.
Arm said it sounded fine.
Was Jackson the one seed?
No,
Just
they're
want to make
3 seed.
sure.
Okay,
Really?
good deal. He runs the show, so.
They play 2 seed Jonathan
Indeed he
Auburn
does.
next week.
Nice. I'd like to see him roll
Indeed
it.
he does.
It's gonna be a tough one.
60 hours.
Hunting is wrong. What would the deer say if they could talk? Why don't you ask him? Deer. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. God, I love this movie.
Political arms. Political arms.
So, have you seen the new brewski that's coming out?
Yes. I think you've shared it with me 3 times.
I don't know what you're talking about, Arms.
So, ski flavor,
Yeah.
ski pop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're coming out with.
I
beer.
didn't know that's what you were talking about. Sorry, I've
It's
seen
literally called
I think
brewski.
months ago, right?
Yeah, I think you literally talked about it every week.
I don't think so, but okay. But
Is it around here yet?
no,
Is it
no. Well, me and Carper, Jeff Carper, a buddy of mine, we're trying to get it here, and every time they post something, we get on there and put a comment thread. And the PR guy was, exchanging with us on there, and he's like, "Oh, you guys, your gift game's solid, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "We're just going through." I'm like, "One more thing, Epstein didn't kill himself." I'm like, oh, fuck, I love it.
Guinness. Nice choice, Hux. Little Guinness. Coffee?
Mm-hmm.
You want a beer?
I'm good for now.
You want a natural light Catalina lime mixer?
If it was a normal 90 light, I'd be more than happy to have one. But
We normally fire this thing up, and there's watchers from the get-go. Not tonight.
Nobody on?
Well, nobody
No.
likes us,
Nobody is on.
and that's okay.
That's not okay.
It's not okay.
Wake up, people.
Wake up, sheeple! Sorry.
Wake up. All right, so
This thing right here make an excellent chip clip.
I would not push on that. Your mic will just fall.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I just see how strong it is. I'm just thinking, man,
All right.
no air would get in that bag of chips. None.
True. Okay. You guys want to rock and roll since we have...
Let's do this.
All right. I'm going to mute all mic channel.
he's just a good.
Today on the Back Row Nope, I didn't record. And 3, 2, 1. Today on the Back Row Fantasy Show, we talk trade deadline, sits and starts, and football in general. Midway point season starting now.
Welcome to the Back Row Fantasy Show with your hosts Jeremy Barker and Aaron Arms.
Arms missed that.
Oh yeah, I've been looking forward to that
much. My
So
native
much.
heritage,
Yeah, but you're.
of which is I think 0%.
To say, but you're not. But all right, yeah. Anyway,
Just saying. So welcome to the Back Row Fantasy Show. Yet again, it's me, Bark, and to my left is Arms.
good morning.
And to my right is normally Hux, but Neil stole his seat, so it's Neil to my right.
Bastard.
It's rightfully mine.
And Hux is to my
Loaning it to you.
adjacent right corner pocket.
2 o'clock.
He's our magic 8-ball in the corner pocket.
Did
Hux.
someone have an 8-ball?
Man,
It's a kid's show.
Pool.
This
What
show-
is
this
wrong
is-
with you people?
this show is like Ryan's.
You all are dressed in black like 8-balls.
This is like Ryan's toy review, man. It's a children's program.
Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. I wasn't even talking about anything but pool.
The
I love
children,
billiards.
the children love fantasy football. The children.
Billiards.
Okay. I'm a Domino's guy myself. Ashy Larry.
Do you use Dice and Domino's?
You do not.
Oh, it was Dice, wasn't it? World Series
Yeah.
of Dice.
Yeah.
Yes.
My bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
My bad.
it's been a while since I played Domino's, but I think you just kind of randomly pull out.
I was thinking
Domino's
about
and
playing
connect.
Dice and eating Domino's.
Am I wrong on that?
You're right.
You look like a Domino's player.
I played a lot of dominoes in
Whenever
jail.
you're in the jail. he worked in jail.
I used to smash people at it. So
Well, you also had
I've never played dominoes.
You also had a nightstick, so you smash them if they
Haven't
beat
either.
you.
dominoes is a hell of a game, man. It's really fun.
I'm sure it is.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Domino's a hell of a game.
Hux, you work in a prison. I'm surprised you don't play Domino's.
We don't play games in prison.
You more of a spades guy?
He works in a real prison.
Yeah.
They play Shank.
That's some county jail shit right there.
That's right.
We don't play games in prison. We're big leagues.
Yeah. Arms's job. They take bets. They got a big board. Yeah. I think Johnson's a 2-1 to get shanked tonight. What do you think, fellow correctional officer? No, I think I've got to go with Mahogany. Mahogany's going to get shanked tonight.
I love the guy's name Mahogany.
I've never met a human being with the last name Mahogany or the first name.
Nicknames in prison.
Okay.
So, you know.
Hey,
don't know.
anyway, that got silent and awkward.
Yeah.
The two prison guys don't even talk about it.
I'm cold, man.
I like your fresh new Raiders hat, Arms.
First off, it's about 3 years old.
It's-
Second off,
Brand new. I think the tag's still on it.
As soon as they get a winning record, he digs deep into
as
the
soon as
closet.
winter hits, I put the damn toboggan on.
Not that
Never seen
toboggan.
I guarantee it.
Pretty sure last year it was a Patriots toboggan.
Never.
Now all of a
Literally never. The only other team I've ever had toboggan for was the Titans. And that's when they had Eddie George.
I don't believe it. I think you had a Giants one.
I don't believe
Nope.
a damn thing you're saying.
Nope. Liked Eli Manning, but
Hey, I can't like anybody else about getting ridiculed, so you can't either. Okay.
I do what I want.
Really defensive already.
I do what I want.
Already.
Neil, you've had a
Hey,
bad week.
Neil,
haven't
so
It's a hell of a week.
yeah, especially considering Clemson looks like they're probably getting left out of the playoffs.
Not going to happen.
The thing is,
He's already upset about it.
no. The thing is, they just have to win out, and then
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I don't care if they're fifth, sixth right now. If they win out, they're in.
Oh, you're
you?
right.
Is Ohio State still dominant without Chase Young?
Yes,
I mean, they haven't played without him yet.
Just wondered.
they
No,
will
I know.
be. And
Well, I know that, Huck, smart ass. I'm just saying, like, him being gone, what kind of detriment does that put on Ohio State?
I mean, obviously they're not going to have that great of a pass rush. They don't have the best pass rush in the country, but they're still going to be good.
Is there a guy that
mean,
was
they're-
sitting behind Chase Young that might be pretty good?
It's Ohio State, yeah.
I mean, they're top 7, right? I mean, how far can they drop off?
Yeah. I mean, so,
Just curious.
man, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Right now, what I'm reading is it definitely wasn't an agent. It really was just a friend of the family. And the precedent has been set in the past whenever someone self-reports that it's a 1 to 2 game suspension. So it's probably not even going to matter.
Is the rumor true about J.K. Dobbins reportedly receiving money also? You see that?
I have not seen that
I
yet.
saw that earlier, but obviously, I mean, nothing's came out about it like they did with Chase Young. But
I'm all for the report being true that Bark of the Back Row Fantasy Show receives money.
I agree. You should. All the monies.
Bring the monies. Bring the monies to me in a armored truck. I'll give you my address.
But I'm afraid it'll ruin your eligibility.
Eligibility for what?
I don't know.
The Beer Olympics? I wouldn't even be good at that. I drink 3 beers a week.
It's like 3, and I'm tired.
I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy.
What are you talking about? I wake up tired. Middle of the day, tired. End
Like
of the
10
day,
hours
tired.
too much.
Like, I'm up 14, 15 hours a day. Tired the whole damn time. Actually, it's
I agree.
like 17, 18 hours. I don't sleep
Kind of
enough.
looks like one of the sticky bandits in that thing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Pesci.
You never.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, as I caught myself in the stream over there, I was like, God, this looks stupid the way I'm wearing it, but it's so
Oh,
warm.
I thought it'd be more like, oh my God, look at me in the street.
Well, with the toboggan on under the headphones, I couldn't hear you guys. I thought all the mics were off. That's what I was complaining about.
I've got my headphones over top my hood.
Maybe it's because I got the old double layer here.
Sounds nice. Sounds real nice. Hey, let's talk a little bit about the trade deadline that has came and passed. Last week, we talked about whether you should jump in, not jump in. You guys want to talk about some of the deals that have went down in some of our leagues and just assess whether they were good moves, bad moves, just to give people an idea, because to my knowledge, a good amount of leagues have a trade deadline. Week 10 is kind of I want to say it's kind of universal. I'm not 100% on that, but trade deadlines are either here, happened, or coming. That's what she said. And I just want to talk. Ours was kind of busy. It was mostly, me and Hux? Was it mostly us two that were active at the trade deadline?
There's a couple other teams.
Right. So want to talk about some of that real quick, and we'll lead it off with this. There was a guy on Twitter. I'm going to pull him up real quick. I was very happy to be notified that this tweet happened, because this was our sentiment leading up to yesterday's trade deadline. His name was Charles Ellison, at Charles Ellison. I recommend you follow him, even if he never tweets again, based off this one tweet. And he shouted out our friends over at Dynasty Nerds, Dynasty Price, Rich, and Matt. Great podcast. I've been listening to that one a lot lately. I don't know if you guys, that's a good one. And I don't think I knew it until recently. Like, I listened in and out. I picked up my listening on it. Pretty good. So Charles Ellison, at Charles Ellison, says, can one of you, to the Dynasty Nerds, go off on a rant about the number of Dynasty players terrified of losing a trade, but perfectly okay with losing a championship because they refuse to make moves? What a tweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
this guy tweet of the freaking year.
Oh, fantasy sports tweet of the year.
This guy must be on the outside looking into our Dynasty leagues. He must have access.
I am in, let's see, I think 7 dynasty leagues. All right.
That's like 5 too many.
No, they're consuming. They're really consuming.
I'm with you.
But with that being said, I think in 4 of them there was no last week trades. None coming up to deadline. And I mean, I'm talking offers out. People are like, yeah, hey, we got this trade and it worked out. Nope, nothing. Like, what's going on? And I mean, I'm putting out there, I have a rebuild that I've been working on for 2 years. Like, it was bad. Total rebuild.
You guys want to get relaxed? I'm going to get relaxed.
I can leave if
Go
you don't
for it.
like to hear me talk. You guys,
I wanna hear about it.
You guys go ahead.
It's honestly hard
Go
to
ahead.
in this chair.
No, I want to hear it.
I want to hear about it.
I just wanted to add that initial
Well, you're in the
arms
league.
bashing.
It's red zone.
Right.
All right.
This one, I've heard about this
Oh
one.
yeah.
So I've
no
got-
trades yesterday.
Yeah, I've got a ton of
Maybe
guys that can't get a single offer on a Josh Gordon level guy. Give me a 4th. Like something. There are people out there that have Adam Thielen, who's not playing this week, that didn't make an offer for freaking Josh Gordon.
Yeah, and if you're in contention, a 4th for Josh Gordon, not saying he's going to do anything, but you have to take shots.
Considering Thielen's not going to be seeing play until the championship rounds.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. Some of the some of the players I've got, like,
I offered a 2nd for Josh Gordon in the league of record yesterday and it got rejected.
What was it?
I offered a 2nd for Josh Gordon and it got rejected.
Jesus. Yeah, was
it ours?
I don't even know who has it.
I don't have him.
It's one of them guys that
And I
didn't
don't
make
think-
any moves, I imagine.
And I'm not saying that's a terrible offer, because you probably need him for something.
I couldn't get an offer for which I didn't want to trade Terry McLaurin. Neil made an offer for Terry. It was fair, but it just wasn't one I was going to do, and that was weeks ago. But I couldn't get an offer on Curtis Samuel, Cortland Sutton, MVS, Willie Snead, Danny Amendola. No offers
Willie
whatsoever.
Snead, I understand.
I get it,
Amendola.
but I would have also paired some of these guys up. I'd have doubled up for a pick.
Amendola would have been a good bye week guy for somebody in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Nobody, not a single offer. And then whenever you start looking at defense, like, I'm still, I stay stacked in most leagues at defensive back. Not a single offer for defensive back. Only Den made an offer to me for Darius Leonard, but it's like, all right, I'm going to give you Mason Rudolph, like a huge downgrade at linebacker, and then I don't even remember what the other one was. Someone else who probably wouldn't have made a difference. Oh, it's Christian Kirksey. And I'm like, I'm not doing that for Darius
It made me
Leonard.
sad because a lot of the people I wanted to make trades with, they don't come on for days, hours.
Oh my God.
And my team is like I'm not bragging on my own team, but they're pretty stacked. When I have Barkley, McCaffrey, I'm stacked.
Your team's ridiculous.
And I'm trying to get better at other positions, but nobody's coming on. But
Now, there is something to be said for teams not wanting to trade with you.
well, that's understandable. But
because
when
they
they're
don't want you to win.
when they got one win on the season, they need to start moving.
I'm on a 2-game win streak in there.
It's not the way. That's not the way these teams are looking at things now. I think people just sit back and like we got one guy bailing on our dynasty league because he's just not that into it. I get that. So now I totally understand why he was inactive at the trade deadline. I wouldn't want to stick someone with. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. If I know I'm out, I'm not going to really touch the team anymore unless I know I'm making it better.
I was going to say, if you're trading mid-tier players for first rounders in this draft class,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's one thing. But
If I'm sitting on his team, I don't know who he's got. But let's say he's got Devonta Freeman, and someone's got his draft pick, his first rounder.
Right.
Move Devonta Freeman, try to get that. Devonta Freeman in a early second for that first. Sorry.
I misspoke about the Josh Gordon trade. It wasn't rejected. The
deadline pass.
Deadline pass.
That's
before.
worse. That's worse. That's worse.
I have a couple trades that are still on there as proposed, but I can't check them, obviously.
I end up that way every year, but this year.
All right, let's talk about some of the trades that did go down in some of our leagues. Feel free to chip in leagues I'm not in. Red Zone, you guys, any league. So obviously, my league number 2 called New Blood, dead as heck trade.
Oh, yeah.
That was terrible, pathetic.
It was.
But I wasn't active either. I was so focused on our league of record, which is what I always do. So in our league of record, let's start with the first trade of the day. So league of record, we have the Smoky Mountain Warhogs, which is the leader, 2-time champion. Pains me to say it sometimes. Hats off to our friend Den, but it just we all want to beat him. That's what makes the league so intriguing.
We want that belt.
Oh, absolutely.
We want the belt. There is a belt on the line, an actual belt. So he's in pole position for a bye week. He trades Raekwon McMillan and Derwin James and a second rounder.
The first overall second right now.
Well, you're the team on the other end,
Right.
so I didn't expect. I expected you to throw that in there. So second rounder, McMillan, Derwin James, and Neal gives up Bobby Wagner. Neal's 3-5 on the outside looking in. Good deal both ways, in my opinion. I
think so too.
I think it's a great deal. Neal has a stud safety, a linebacker that could emerge. McMillan's played a little better. Bobby Wagner's 29?
Yeah, it helps him out immediately. And I ain't saying he's the youngest guy, but I felt like that was a really good deal in both ways.
Oh, I agree. And that second round pick that's likely to be
01, 02.
Oh yeah, pick 1 or 2 in the second round. That's as good as a first rounder in this draft class. So I love that deal both ways. Den was brilliant for doing it. You were brilliant for doing it. Ooh, that's a lot of
lot to
brilliance
say
being thrown
out
around.
loud. I'm not sure if I'd have agreed with the word brilliant being thrown around about Neal, but whatever.
Right. Now here's the next one. Same team, Smoky Mountain Warhogs, pole position. He's this week is rough for bye weeks. I don't know if I love this one because he doesn't have to win this week. He can lose this week. I mean, it's not going to hurt him at all, in my opinion.
But I'm going to push back on that. Like, I love the fact that he still wants to keep winning.
Well, yeah.
Like he's not falling out of the playoffs. There's nearly no chance.
Yeah, no chance.
Sorry.
Right. No, you're good. So the deal he makes there, and then I'll get to a viewer question. So he gives up Antonio Brown and a first-round pick, which is his first, which is likely to be a back
Bottom
half,
2, yeah.
2-3 pick. Brown and a late first for Robert Woods and a fourth. Again, I like it both ways mostly, but I don't think he needed to do that, really. I mean, I wouldn't have made that deal. I mean, I'm in contention.
The thing with his team, he's been hurting at that number 3 receiver spot all year.
He has, but I think now it's Robert Woods or Larry Fitzgerald, and they're both playing about the same.
Right. Well, I was just saying, he's been shuffling guys in and out with Shepard hurt. I think he had Scantling for a hot minute. But, I mean, he's just shuffling guys in and out of that third spot.
Do you feel better?
I feel better with
Robert
Woods. Yeah, a little bit better.
Especially if Cook's being iffy.
Yeah, Cooks is out this week again.
I love somebody because of that, but I'll get to that later.
Yeah, me too. I got him written down.
Fist bump it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Knuckle
Okay,
bump.
so
Tyler Higbee? Oh, sorry.
I'm going to run through this guy's. He's already thrown like 3 or 4 at us. We'll run through them super quick. Pick one this week: David Johnson, Jaylen Samuels, Latavius Murray, and Jamal Williams. Half-point PPR. Listen, I know he's breaking down. I still like.
Hold on.
I'm going to lean DJ slightly over Samuels.
That's where I was going with it.
So pick 1-1.
No,
pick one of the 4 he just
pick one
named.
of the 4.
Oh.
Please try to pay attention, Arms. This is a professional, established show.
Okay.
DJ Samuels, was it Jamal Williams?
Just pick one of these guys.
And Latavius Murray. Pick one of the 4 to play this week.
I mean, how many touches is DJ getting though? But
Listen, I'm
questionable.
incredibly concerned about DJ's workload going forward.
I'm not.
I think Kim. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's Jaylen Samuels.
The only reason I say I'm not is because, Kenyon Drake's look great, but when Chase Edmonds is out, Chase Edmonds was still getting about 10 carries a game anyways. Kenyon Drake will get 10
Kenyon Drake looked
carries
better
a game.
against the 49ers.
One game.
Against the one of the best rush defenses in the league than David Johnson looked all year.
I don't think they're going to just weed David Johnson
I
out.
don't think they're going to weed him out, but I think that I think Kenyon Drake showed that he's good enough to warrant more of the workload than Chase Edmonds did.
Here's another point of the argument. Kenyon Drake's free agent. David Johnson is not. Do you make David Johnson mad by giving more run to Kenyon Drake just for him to walk away? Then you got a disgruntled David Johnson.
Or do you want to keep David Johnson with low miles because you actually get to keep him?
No, you run him into the ground. In my opinion, you run him into the ground.
Or you run the guy that you're going to lose automatically into the ground.
Nah, nobody
They're
will ever
both
run
gonna
Kenyon Drake
get
into the ground.
enough touches to be relevant. I think.
That's kind of my problem. That's where I think if Jaylen Samuels is probably the play there because
Samuels is going to
Connor may not be playing.
No, Connor's out.
Is he out?
Snell's out. So, I mean,
Trey Edmonds is out.
He's playing. Samuels,
I could have swore they said he was out.
I'm pretty sure
he's a
playing.
non-factor anyway.
He had 12 carries last week.
That's not
Even
a lot.
so, he didn't get the 13 targets, but go ahead.
I'm just saying, it was 21 touches to 12.
No, you're good. Keep going.
I'm trying to. You keep interrupting.
What are you talking about?
Anyways, you're wrong.
I must be the wrong one.
How am I wrong? I'm picking Samuels over David Johnson?
It's not wrong.
You're wrong.
I almost went Latavius Murray.
No, you would have been wrong.
No, why?
You can't go with all 4 of them. Or 3 out
The
of
only
4.
one I'm not going to go with is David Damn Johnson.
You're going with Jamal Williams?
No, I'm not going with Jamal.
Okay.
Williams. All right, I forgot about him. He's so irrelevant. I forgot about him.
Can we answer this guy's question?
We're going to answer this guy's questions. Pick a wide receiver out of Metcalf, A.J. Brown, and Darius Slayton. Give me Metcalf. I think he's looked good. A.J. Brown's looked good too, but it's on lesser. No, it's not. They've both been catching about 3 to 5 balls a game, but Metcalf's an end zone threat, and Seahawks are playing
he's
really
a
well.
higher upside.
Who's Seattle play this week?
You asked me too.
They had
quick.
Niners.
Oh, Niners Monday night.
Well, to push back, you got A.J. Brown, who since Tannehill took the helm, are averaging 11.5 points a game, and they play the Chiefs, which is bound to be a shootout.
And
What's
Corey
Metcalf?
Davis is also out this week.
What's Metcalf averaging?
I don't have that on my notes because I wasn't planning on talking about DK Metcalf.
Because you hates him.
Yeah.
I don't hate him anymore.
You hates him.
Who was the other one besides
He's doing
A.J.
well.
Brown and
It was-
Metcalf?
Darius Slayton.
Slayton's an easy no.
Like
for me.
I like.
Not bad. I mean, he's got a good matchup.
Been
Ingram's out. Shepard's out.
Slayton's been dropping balls.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
literally, Slayton cost the Giants the game. Like, look,
I'm not going
I'm
to choose
telling
him
you
over
right
them,
now,
but it's not a bad matchup.
I watched because I played him, and I watched 2 or 3 balls hit both of his freaking hands and hit the ground. I'm like, that's 5 points right there. Like, there's a catch in 40 yards. What are you doing?
Are you aware that some of the best wide receivers of all time have like terrible drops?
Yeah.
And, all
Yes,
out
I
Ocho,
know.
all out Terrell Owens.
I know, but Slayton was targeted like 4 times and had 4 drops. So
I don't think people lost faith in guys like Terrell Owens. Like Darius Slayton's a rookie. Daniel Jones
Exactly,
might-
he's a
might be-
rookie.
Jones might be hesitant.
What's this guy's question? Who's going to be in the fucking Hall of Fame? No. Who to play this week? It's not Darius Slayton.
Dear God.
Jesus
stop.
criminy.
Stop the stream. We can't be on Disney Plus with this kind of shit going on. Stop it. Shut it down.
I'm going A.J. Brown.
I'm going Metcalf. Metcalf's been playing
I'm
well.
Metcalf also.
I don't think A.J. Brown's a bad pick
I think
either.
Brown because of matchup only.
Matchup, like I said, Corey Davis is out. Delaney Walker's out again. The targets should be there.
To be honest with you, if DK was playing anybody but the Patriots and the Niners, I would go DK.
How about we all agree and say toss Darius Slayton out and one?
Hux. Darius Slayton's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm just saying, he's
According
got a
to
good
Brian
matchup
Hux,
this week.
he's going to be in the Hall of
Shepard's
Fame.
out, Ingram's out. He should get the red zone looks. I mean, he's got a good matchup.
All right, so that's it from his questions. This one's going to be
He
a little
scored 2
tougher.
touchdowns a couple weeks ago.
That's great.
God, Arms.
That's great.
Come on,
Darren Fells has a 4-touchdown game at tight end. So he's obviously better than Tony
He's had
Gonzalez.
a decent
Tony
year.
Gonzalez never had that.
For people listening and not watching that didn't see the stream, I'm pointing at Hux saying, Arms, stop it. Just stop, Arms. But I'm pointing at Hux. So Josh T. Winter.
Matt Flynn, by the way, has
my God.
seven passing touchdowns in a game. I just want to point that out.
And a hell of an
Whenever you
agent.
start
You
telling
have pointed that
Seven
out.
you start
touchdowns in a
telling
game
me
and a
about
hell
how
of an agent.
Darius Slayton had 2 touchdowns.
He has pointed that
saying.
Matt Flynn stat out on episode 6, 11, 27, 42, 55, and 56.
I highly doubt you're accurate.
I'm pretty close. 74, 80, 90, 100, and 150. Because 150 hasn't happened yet.
It's important.
I think this is 150.
It's important.
Okay. Let's go around the round table.
There's
I wish
Darius Slayton,
I want
gold jacket.
God. Wish I had a the little timer thingy, little sand, Days of Our Lives. Round table. You get 30 words max. Arms and Arms Jr. What Josh T. Winter, your name says Twinter, but we're going to call you T. Winter. We like that.
I like Twinter
Arms
better.
coined that on the last episode. Thanks for watching again. What running back handcuffs should I pick up? My initial answer is your running back's handcuffs. That's my answer. But there are valid answers as well. Hux, running back handcuffs you're looking at right now, off top of your head.
Well, that's a way to throw us under the bus on this
I mean-
preparation.
Well, I'll throw a couple out there. I mean,
I've got 2 off the top of my head.
we'll go. You
Go ahead.
Wayne Gallman and
Trash.
Latavius Murray.
Murray, I like.
Hey, you're missing the big one right now. Jamal Charles, bud.
Jamal Charles.
Excuse me, Jamal Williams,
No.
Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles. Are you sure? Okay.
Be sure to tune in again right after this episode of The Office when Jamal Charles was playing. I want to throw out Reggie.
I'm just saying, studs with injury issues right now, and their backups have performed well.
Be a long ass show.
It already has been.
Long ass show. I wanted to throw out real quick Reggie Bonnafon.
Who?
Reggie Bonnafon. Not because he's the best handcuff to grab. Somebody laughed and said Jamal Charles. Reggie Bonnafon, just simply because Christian McCaffrey is the workhorse. If he goes down, it's probably not a committee. It's probably the Bonnafon kid. I'm not saying he's fantastic, but
Yeah, he won't even sniff anything that McCaffrey's doing.
no, he won't. You're not getting anything out of him. But if McCaffrey goes down, you don't think Bonnafon will get 20 carries?
So I
a
mean,
game?
what is this like a targets? Is it off season pickups or
No.
just right now?
Running back handcuffs right now, rest of season.
There's a guy named Kareem Hunt who used to be pretty good.
Yeah, he's debuting this week.
That handcuff's good.
I think Kareem Hunt's almost one of the ones you have to have right now.
I think Kareem Hunt's on everybody's roster.
Yeah, he should be.
He should
in a
be.
respectable league.
Yeah.
And Chubb's,
I mean,
Chubb's touches
Madison
went
for the
down.
Vikings. I mean, if Dalvin goes down, he's
Matt,
going to have a.
the guy that asked the first few questions, Contra. I can't say your damn name. We're gonna call you Contra from Super Nintendo. He said Alexander Madison. Agree with that 100%. That's a good pickup. Little known fact: the other running backs in Minnesota get a couple carries a game too.
Amir Abdullah.
The Ham kid and Abdullah get like.
Dude, I
One or
really
two.
wanted to see. Sorry to go off a little bit on this. The best matchup I ever seen with 2 running backs in college was Abdullah and Melvin Gordon in the same game. It was
How
one
the hell do we get to these places?
just because my mind works very weird, but it was the most incredible rushing attack both ways And Gordon broke the single game rushing record that day about 2 hours before Samaje Perine did the same. If you ever get a chance to go back and look at the highlights, it's insane.
I wish I could throw a rainbow up and be like,
I thought, no, I'm just saying,
you know.
after watching that and seeing Amir Abdullah's stats, you would have thought that he would have been an All-Pro.
Yeah, he was a good prospect coming out of college, but that happens.
Can't
Any
hang
more
on the damn
questions?
ball.
Any more questions? Throw them out. We're going to get back to a few trades that happened and just discuss whether we liked them, didn't like them. Turns out the ones I mentioned beforehand were like a day before the deadline, but that's okay. 2 days. Next trade.
Deadline week is still the deadline for me. You get what I'm saying? You look lost.
No, I'm just making sure I have that opening to jump
Well, I
in.
stopped talking. That's how you're supposed to know.
I got to give it a few seconds.
Do you need a light?
Got to give it a few seconds. Okay, we're good. Let's see. So we've got, man, half of these are mine, and I hate even throwing it out because one of them I know is crap. I gave up Royce Freeman. I got Justice Hill in a second.
Yeah, you got hosed.
Man, I don't know. Royce Freeman has slowly lost a couple carries here and there. Injury's the only way Royce Freeman's going to be better than a bye week back to me. And I'm on the outside looking in. I'm 4-5. My team has scored just fine, but I have the most points against. So I can't lose another game. So in the instance that I did, I wanted another second in this loaded draft class. I would rather have a second in this class than Royce Freeman, personally.
Yeah, I would too.
Is Royce Freeman a first rounder in this next draft class?
No.
No. So I'll take my chance with the 2.
Royce Freeman's situation just kills him.
It does.
Well, maybe things will actually turn around once Locke gets in there.
Well,
Maybe Locke is actually good.
And here's the thing
Let's not
about
get carried away, but
Here's the
he
thing
might be. I like Locke.
here's the thing about Freeman. His yards per carry, his total touches, he's not doing anything special with any of them. The only reason he's even scoring points is he's catching 3 or 4 balls a game. And I'm just not comfortable with that. So, if he was doing something with his touches, like if he was getting 10 touches a game and going for 50 yards, I probably wouldn't deal him. But it's like 10 for 35, 10 for 28. Like there's really nothing special happening on those carries. So
They're like 6 to 10 points a game
yeah,
if you're lucky.
Yeah, I liked Royce before the season, but now that the season is in play, I've not really cared for what I've seen. I think he's just an okay back. So give me the 2022 great class for an okay back. Maybe I'm in the minority there, but those are really the main ones worth talking about, in my opinion. There wasn't a lot of activity at the trade deadline.
You don't want to talk about Nick Foles for Kyle Allen?
I mean, we can. Me and Hux made a last-second deal just to make a deal, I think. It was one of those deals where Lamar Jackson was under the weather, and I'm like, I can't start Foles. He's a week 10 bye. Screw it. I'll give him up for Kyle Allen. Could be.
I don't hate it because you just
don't
know.
It's a blah trade, to be honest. It's
nothing
just
special about it.
I'm also not sure that I'm not saying that Kyle Allen's, the truth or anything like this, but are they going to let Cam go?
I think there's a good
worth
chance.
talking about.
All that matters is that you have Allen for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're playing to win this year. You're not playing to win next year. You're not playing to win the year after. I mean, ideally with Dynasty you are. So, Barker, me and you had talked about this. I think it was with Bruning, if I'm not mistaken, from the round table, fantasy football round table. We made a trade in the Brill.
So.
I gave up Kerryon Johnson, Deshaun Hamilton, which Deshaun is what he is. Literally all of my draft picks. A first, all I had was a first, a third, and 2 fourths and a fifth for next year for Darius Geis and Terry McLaurin.
You say Darius Slayton?
Darius Geis and Terry McLaurin for Kerryon Johnson, Deshaun Hamilton, a first, which is looking to be no better than a mid-round first. Could be the last pick in the first round, to be honest with you. And then third, a couple fourths, and a fifth. Thoughts? Who won the trade?
This is our time to talk, boys. Let's do it.
So it was McLaurin, Geis.
I don't know how many times I have to say it.
Sorry,
for you to
it was a
listen.
lot. It was a lot to take in there.
Please try to pay attention, Hux.
I'm trying.
McLaurin and Geis.
For
Kerryon
Johnson and a first.
Deshaun Hamilton, which a first, a third, 2 fourths, and a fifth, which we all know fourths and fifths are basically scratch off lottery tickets. You might get lucky, but you probably won't.
I mean, I like the Geis side just because the potential of Geis is still there. I mean, we've seen what McLaurin can do.
I basically approached him and said, "Do you think you're going to make the playoffs?" He goes, "No, I'm out." All right, you want to build for next year? Here's a guy on IR. Here's a first rounder, and these receivers are off the board. So you tell me which one you want other than that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of it.
Neil?
Yeah, I like the player side more, but I'm also not sold on carrying on Johnson for next year as far as rebuild goes.
Nor am I.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm all out on carry on. I'm
But
selling every
He's the
share
first,
I got.
yes, but I'm not like, here you go, buddy. This will help you out next
Their
year.
injury histories are equally concerning, though. The difference is Geis has had 2 stints on IR, and Carrion, I guess Carrion has 2.
Yeah.
So both have been on IR 2 years in a row.
Out on both.
I mean, are the Lions going to have like 6 running backs on roster come next year?
Yeah, none of them worth
Right,
it.
need to.
I mean,
They each get like 4 carries.
it was very hard to move Carrion Johnson, not because I wanted to hang on to him. It's because you had to find the right trade partner.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, once a guy goes on IR, it's even harder for him to trade. But
Well, you can only trade with people who are out of it.
yeah,
Nobody's,
yeah, obviously, the
Nobody's
team that's in
eight-
it's going to pick up a guy that's on IR for a guy that's playing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
Ouch. Okay, let's any more trade talk? Any more deadlines come and gone? Should you have made moves? I wish some watchers would say, "Hey, this is my roster. Should I have made some moves?" But we probably can't get that this late in the game.
We can just go through that league of record and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this team should have made some moves. This team should have made some moves.
We
You
could
should have made some moves.
definitely-
You should have made some moves."
We could definitely
Everybody
do
should have made some moves.
that. At what?
Yeah.
Where do you start to sell? Like, to me, I think Neil sitting at 3-5. You're not out yet, but I think
This is a good discussion to have, though.
Are you three?
I
Are you
think
3-6 or 4-5?
I think you picked the right.
We played
time.
9 games.
Well-
He keeps saying 3-5. That's only 8. But
Is it 3-5?
Neil had a bye week.
I mean,
I only have 3 wins.
so it's 3-6.
3-6.
Yeah.
You
Well,
had to
obviously,
say-
you have to at that point.
Yeah, okay. Like my position was, yes, I have a bad record. My running backs are
we know. No, I'm sorry.
my running backs are Carson and Kenny Drake right now, which is not great. I like Carson, so I obviously need running back help.
We know you like Carson.
I think Drake's okay as
Okay,
running back
yeah.
too the rest of the way.
But then my wide receivers,
You hated Drake earlier. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
I have a good wide receiving core, so I really don't need help.
10 to 15 points.
I don't need help there. Okay, so I'm like, why should I actually sell when I only need, the one running back piece for next year? But I have 2 firsts that will solve our problem for next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
And a second,
Are they appearing to be high first?
one of them's mine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like why?
Probably.
Yeah.
It'll be a top 6 pick.
I was gonna say at the pace you're at 6th-ish, and there's some really solid receivers coming out in this year's
Right.
draft. So
So,
you're
like,
getting a running back.
For me, I really shouldn't have sold. I didn't really need to sell anybody because I have my picks ready to fill in the position of need. That's why I didn't make too many moves on that end.
I think
I like the moves you did make.
I think it depends a lot upon the division, and this is what Hux did, right? Hux
Yeah.
was in a ridiculous division.
He's still winning.
Just as a ridiculous conference. The other division is just as tough.
Yeah.
Still winning games.
Like,
Yeah, I know.
even so, are you what? You're 3rd in your division, right?
I'm second. I'm in the playoffs right now. I have the wild card spot
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
At
After
6 and 3.
selling Julio Jones,
Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen. I mean,
Didn't you sell running back too? Lev Bell. Which
yeah,
isn't that
Le'Veon
important,
Bell.
Probably.
You know what I
probably a
should
good
have
time.
done? What I should have done, because after I traded Julio and Mike Evans in a span of like a few days, a week, or whatever, I should have looked at my schedule beforehand. But I looked at my schedule and I'm like, I played arguably 4 of the probably bottom 5 of the league. I knew I was going to win the next 4. I mean, I had a real good shot at it, and I did. So I should have looked ahead a little bit more, maybe held on for another week. But, I mean, as I talked last week, my thought process was I wanted to get ahead of other teams that were going to start selling because I knew the opportunity wasn't going to be there if I waited. So, and I mean, and when I picked up Mahomes off you last week, I honestly thought about starting to move some of them first. I had gathered to make a push because I was in the position still.
Wouldn't have been a bad idea either.
And it wouldn't have been, but
But
I think
who
I was already at the point of I'm kind of all in. I mean, I know I'm getting ready to play my division again the last 3 weeks of the season. I'm probably going to lose 2 of the 3, and I'm not going to make the playoffs.
I think the main question is who in our league of record. Where were you getting those receivers for the firsts? That's the problem. Like that's why I agree with the moves that you've made, because nobody's freaking selling. Like, how are you supposed to improve a receiver with firsts when teams that are 1-7 or 3-6 with Cortland Sutton, like, probably should sell Cortland Sutton for a first and a second if you had, a couple.
Go to a Brian Hucks and say, look, man, give me a high and a low first. Just see if we can do it. Just to throw it out there. You are in position to where you need this guy to win, and I'm not going to sign for anything less.
I was trying to get Sanu, and all they wanted was first out of me. So
give me a break.
Yeah.
So what can you do?
Insanity.
Yeah, what can you do?
Craziness.
So I mean, that's the other part of it. Is just finding the trade partners.
Yeah.
There's a big piece of advice I'd give to a lot of people in these situations. It's hard to not look at these players as like, yeah, these are the guys I like. Like, I love watching them. Treat these people as tools. Don't put a face to the name or anything. These guys will help you get there. Grab them. I don't care who they are, what their name is, what team they play for. Treat them as a tool to get you to the next level.
There's a lot of, and I fell victim to this. Like, even last week, if someone's coming to try to give me DK Metcalf, I'm probably still telling them no.
See, I buy.
But this week, if it's towards trade deadline, I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah. DK Metcalf helps me make a push. Then he's young, But yeah, I feel you there.
I mean, I was spoken last week about like, yeah, this guy's a stud. I can't move him. He's not. Is that a tool in your toolbox that's helping you win right now?
Well,
no, that first round pick you can get for that said player will help you.
Let's talk about a couple of players that you used to have that were untouchable. Calvin Ridley, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yep,
they're not available.
And what do you mean they're not available?
That he had them in last year. At one point, he said they're not available.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can offer me for them. They're not available. And now, I don't think you have Ridley.
Yeah,
Juju left during offseason.
Yeah, and that was
for Lockett.
And see,
and that's worked out great.
They're not really wrong.
And that's something I wanted to talk about a little bit on the show too. Like, so many teams get stuck on players. Neil, there's people that have traded big name players.
Arms has had Eli Manning for 15 years.
I don't have Eli. Actually,
hey, I traded Rodgers for Josh Allen and some change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid.
He said Derek Carr for 10.
I just acquired Eli Manning in this league, and then I dropped him. I had to for like a lineman or something.
I'll cut to the chase. No one should be untouchable.
No, I mean
no player should be untouchable. Maybe right now McCaffrey, if you want to make him untouchable, fine. But
if he's the only stud you got, can you build around McCaffrey? If your team sucks other than McCaffrey,
man, he's awfully good.
He puts up 3 players of production.
Yeah,
he can win you a week by himself. So
I 100% understand that. But then you go to somebody who's got Josh Jacobs and 2 first-rounders, and you say, all right, I'm going to give you the best player in fantasy football right now. Here's the offer I've got. Maybe they come back and just say, I'll give you Josh Jacobs and a high first. Deal, because my team sucks. All I've got is Christian McCaffrey. You can't win, and by time you build from Barker, you only get 5 picks in a draft.
I'm not doing it. I'm keeping McCaffrey.
Yeah, CMAX about to have the best running back year of all time.
Yeah,
all-purpose yards.
My point is, if you're trying to build, and that's all you have.
I understand that.
I'll rely on my own draft picks. I'll sell other guys for other draft picks.
Cold dead hands, boys.
Yeah, you're not getting CMC from me. There's not unless you're
literally talking out both sides of your mouth right now, Barker. Nobody's untouchable.
No, I said for me. I'm not saying you should make McCaffrey untouchable. You don't want to make him untouchable. No one should be untouchable.
2 years ago, Todd Gurley's untouchable.
I would have sold him. I'm saying for me, I'm not trading McCaffrey unless you really impress.
Yeah, it's going to have to be an overpay.
It's going to have to be an overpay.
Exactly.
Josh Jacobs in a first is not an overpay.
No.
It's fair.
I approach for
not an overpay.
Josh Jacobs in 2 firsts or something like that.
I want Josh Jacobs in 3 firsts.
That's that deal would never go down.
I'm pretty much in his ballpark right there. I'm not getting.
I'm just saying that's what I want.
Two scratch offs and a Josh Jacobs.
Unless you're giving me Josh Jacobs and the two picks are like
1-5, 1-1,
both in the top 5. Okay, I'll consider it.
But let's say your number 2 receivers, like a Deshaun Hamilton and Calvin Ridley. Those are your 2 and 3. Like you've got to make a move.
And Ridley's about to be a third-year guy next year, so his time's coming.
I still love Ridley.
I hope so.
Let me transition into something that you may not need to trade Christian McCaffrey. Let's talk quickly about players that are looking at a second half emergence. You have been high on a guy, Zach Pascal.
Yeah.
So say you got Christian McCaffrey and one of your top 3 wide receivers are Zach Pascal. That didn't look good 3-4 weeks ago, but it looks pretty freaking good now.
I had him as a start, for my start this week too. I think he's gonna be really solid.
Yeah,
especially
he's in a good
out.
position with the TY out. So yeah.
Yeah.
He has shown signs with Hilton.
But, yeah. So this is a start for me, Pascal. From week 3 on, he's been wide receiver 23. And who else is going to catch the ball there?
He only had one dud game, and now the whole team had a dud game that game.
And they play Miami this week.
Yeah. So
I don't think a lot of teams realize, like, names aren't everything. It's about balance. Like, if you've got a Pascal, another guy, me and Arms are both high on this week. Say your top tight end is Mike Gesicki. First half of the year, that looked like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But right now,
looking much
with
better.
Preston Williams out with an ACL tear, looks pretty good. He's starting to actually produce.
5 or 6 catches, 95 yards last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both career highs, but yeah, I mean, it looks like they're starting to trust him more.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of good quality receivers in other positions through the free agency every year too. So don't be afraid. You're going to find somebody.
Right.
Let's be smart and pay attention.
Christian McCaffrey, maybe your next best good running back was Jaylen Samuels. Looking pretty good for this week and maybe longer.
And don't be afraid. I don't know what your structure in your league is, but don't be afraid to use your high waiver priority this week on somebody that you're not 100% sure about. If you got a 10-team league, there's still quality guys out there. But free agent budget, Barker ends every year with $0.
Every freaking time.
You should.
Why would I keep him?
I know, no, but hear me out. Like, Barker's literally offering real money for fantasy football dollars by, like, week 12 every year. And it's like,
anybody's got any, I got a 5-spot in my wallet.
I've done that. I've been in that position. I think we bid on Josh Reynolds a few times. Like, he comes off a roster, overpay for him. And
he was coming up. He's a start of mine. I love Josh
I got him
Reynolds.
down.
Like, Robert Woods has been underperforming. You got Cooper Kupp. I think the Rams are going to turn it on the second half of the season, and I freaking love Josh Reynolds. Christian McCaffrey, Pascal, Reynolds, Samuels, Kyle Allen at quarterback. I'm not that scared. I'm okay. I feel okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not big names, but it could be solid production paired with a running back that puts up the point totals of 2 running backs. This is just where I'm getting into, no, I'm not trading you McCaffrey. I've got enough pieces of decent players that injuries could bring the best out of. So, yeah, give me that Kyle Allen, McCaffrey, Jaylen Samuels, Pascal, Josh Reynolds, Mike Gesicki.
I like his team. I like his team already.
I'm not sweating it at all. To Ryan Tannehill instead of Kyle Allen if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sweating it. Not sweating it a bit. Alan Lazard is my number 3 wide receiver? Sure.
All right, you went a little too far there.
I don't think I did. He's putting up Keenan Allen-like numbers right now.
What?
So.
Spotty?
Keelan Cole like numbers?
Keenan Allen-like numbers.
1 week good, 1 week bad.
Jarvis Landry-like numbers. Like all these big names, man. Is Landry
inconsistent, man.
League winners. Jarvis Landry, is he a league winner?
No.
Odell Beckham Jr., is he winning the league for you right now?
No.
I mean,
Couldn't get an offer on him. Not a single offer.
Juju, league winner right now, big name.
I tried to trade Beckham for Juju, just straight up, across the board.
Juju's a league winner for your opponent. He's going to lay an egg on you.
But, still, for me, it's like pick Thielen or OBJ, and let's take, I want Juju. Just pick one. Either one. No. And this is before we knew Thielen's looking like he's going to be out for an extended period.
I'm okay with saying no, but I'm okay with doing the deal too.
Well, we talked about it on the last episode. Like,
pick your poison.
Sometimes it's just that fresh start feeling.
Start, yeah.
Like, whenever you trade, it works out well for both people. Like, that's what I was hoping would happen.
Yeah. And that's something that teams need to consider. I have Juju. You have Odell Beckham. I don't actually. But, I mean, if things aren't going your way, switch it up. So I'm always moving. I traded Mahomes to Hux. I got Lamar Jackson. It's not a major downgrade, but it is a little bit of a downgrade.
A little bit.
Maybe not points-wise right now, but long-term.
I was going to say, from a long-term standpoint, there's no, I don't know if I can do that.
It's kind of like Peyton Manning and Michael Vick. It's that kind of a deal. Like which one in their primes?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, Michael Vick. One of them's gonna get you wins on the ground more so than the air, and the other's one of the best passers we've seen in our lifetime already. Sorry, true. I mean, Pat,
I don't doubt it.
Kid can throw the ball, but yeah,
he also isn't going to finish this year the way he did last year. I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't see.
I can state the obvious too. You know what I mean?
I said it before the season. There.
Well, yeah, but he's really not now. He missed a couple games.
Facts are facts.
Let's talk about some other players that, Chris Godwin. Who the heck went into the season thinking Chris Godwin was going to help him to a title?
Dude,
a lot of people.
Well,
honest
I mean,
but at one point in time,
but they thought as a wide receiver 2 or 3, right? Not as wide receiver, not as an elite.
Yeah,
He's looked.
I turned down Michael Thomas for Chris
I mean,
Godwin and Kenny Galladay, and I needed 2 receivers.
I mean, he's pretty much like Chark pretty much too, as far as like that goes. Like, who thought Chark could be the way he is right now?
We've liked him.
Not the same level.
Hey, DJ Shark, 1,000 yards. I thought he was 1,000-yard receiver.
If you thought he was a 1,000-yard receiver, you would have traded for him a lot sooner in a lot of leagues.
He's never been available.
DJ Chark, Travis acquired him.
Yeah,
that happened right before the season. You guys talk. I'll find out.
$1 Million Man said everybody's available and has a price. So there you go.
Everybody's got a price.
Everybody's got a price.
So, all right. Are we ready to move in our starts and sits? Because we've been here for like 4 hours.
Did you not listen to him?
You do whatever you want. I'm still going to talk about whatever I want.
Run that show, Arms. Go for it, buddy.
All right. So, starting at running back, Hux, go ahead. Who's your first start?
All right, then.
I like that.
I've got one. I mean, I've got several, actually.
As always, most of my picks are geared towards DraftKings, but I like Nick Chubb this week. 7K. Buffalo's rush defense has been pretty poor. The last 4 weeks, they've allowed 139 yards a game against. It's in Cleveland. Cleveland's actually favored. Not really sure how, but Nick Chubb's a stud. I mean, he's the only thing going good for that team. So
I have a huge concern about that, and his name is Kareem Hunt.
I know
there's a lot of coach speak. I get it.
No, I mean, I fully expect Hunt to get some touches, but how much? Does he take away from Chubb, or do they use them both? Does he take away from Baker? I mean,
if they use them both of them are viable. I think. But Chubb's matchup proof. Like, he's proved it. He's one of the best in the league as far as running the ball. But, yeah, no, I'm a little bit concerned about Kareem Hunt leeching away.
We'll see. But, I mean...
At the $7,000 price point.
Yeah. I mean, but that's cheap for the load the load he gets compared to the guys that are above him.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, he gets the touches. But, I mean...
And he's a 3-down back.
Yeah, he's a 3-down back.
Well, to be fair, Kareem Hunt's much better in the passing game. So maybe Chubb might see.
I don't know about much better, but yeah, I mean, Kareem Hunt can do both. I mean, he's a 3-down back.
I personally think they're extremely comparable to one another.
Yeah, I'm afraid that they don't have the right coach in place to use. I'm not sure.
They don't have Sean Payton.
Yeah, I mean,
man,
if they need
Andy?
to take. Did you find it?
I found it.
Let's hear it.
Okay, let me tell you about one other one before I tell you what I found. But this is what the season brings.
You're going to talk about Keelan Cole for George Kittle?
Let me effing talk, or you can find out what I'm talking about. God dang it. Okay, so, wow. So, in our league of record, we're just Travis and what does the carp say? The carp. Even though I don't think
he made his way to the episode.
Even though I don't think he has either one of these guys now. Carper gives up Baker Mayfield.
When was this?
This was February 9th of this year. well before the season, well before the draft. But
So you're number 2 overall quarterback.
coming right off of Baker Mania.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, and the Carp receives Josh Allen and Tyler Lockett.
Wow.
That's rough.
It does not
Wait,
look
hold
good
on a
on
second.
paper.
So
but it
So
ended up being
Carp
great.
won that trade big
by
time.
a mile.
By a mile.
And has neither player.
Has
now.
neither player.
I have
So
both those guys
Yeah.
now.
you have both those guys now.
Neil got him for a box
Can-
of Cracker Jacks.
Do you remember what you traded to get them to?
Well, the Lockett was I had to give up Juju and something. It was
Okay.
Juju for Lockett and
Juju's been a hoe in our league recently, from unavailable to Lambert's had him.
I got
and-
Lockett in the first round pick for him.
You did.
Yeah.
But
I'm
you
not
also
knocking it.
you gave up someone else too. It's here. You gave up
Juju and
Beretta, Juju, and Mostert. You got back Derrick Henry, AJ Green, and a first.
okay,
Which is good.
Yeah, it's a good trade,
It's
yeah.
good. Derrick Henry and a first for
I think you got
basically
Lockett.
Juju Beretta.
What do you give up for Lockett then?
I don't have him pulled up right now. I'm
AJ
looking at
Green. AJ Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the
good.
Burns.
That's good stuff. The DJ Chark deal was, and this was a rough one too. I had it and
Back
I
in,
lost
when
it.
was this?
This was right as the season got kicked off, September 19th. So I think after the first, was that after Chark's first or second good game?
Yeah.
Travis acquires Chark and Emmanuel Sanders. Gave up Brandon Cooks. That's pretty much it. Traquan Smith and Dawson Knox. So Cooks for Sanders and Chark. Nice deal.
That's a great deal.
Really nice deal. So, sometimes the big names just don't pan out like you think they are.
Well,
Juju was a hot name going into the season. And there was a lot of people saying he was going to flop without Antonio Brown. Arms being one. No, Arms loved him.
No, I thought the Juju was going to be number 1 overall.
I just wanted to,
I must be the wrong one.
Yeah, but
So,
Big Ben's not
Big
there.
Ben
I'm,
went out.
I'm
I
not
know.
going to hate on myself over that one.
I'm just playing. It's okay. I expected Juju to be stellar as well. I really thought he would be. I don't know what.
His
it
name's
just
Mason Rudolph.
Just Big Ben going out, apparently. So
Well, you take away a Hall of Fame quarterback, that'll happen.
To be fair, Juju's dropping a lot of balls,
be
making a lot of
fair.
turnovers too. So
to be fair,
To be fair. All right. So you got your start at Chubb. Next.
started with the Chubb.
I'm riding the hot hand of Kenyon Drake. Throw him in there. I'll see them just go ahead and throwing DJ in there and taking away from Drake.
to
Didn't you
clarify
guys-
real quick.
Didn't you guys both tell me I was wrong earlier?
God dang it! Here we go. To clarify
I
real
did.
quick, Arms, Kenyon Drake can put up running back 2 numbers, being the second guy in Arizona, because Chase Edmonds was. Chase Edmonds was doing just fine. Kenyon Drake can take 10 carries, turn them into 75 yards, a touchdown, a few catches.
I think Kenyon Drake's a sneaky play, probably going to be a low owned in DFS too.
I agree with that.
I'm not even sure what his price is.
And he plays Tampa
It's cheap.
Bay.
I know it was fairly cheap. Bark, you have one?
I was definitely going with Josh Reynolds. I mentioned it earlier, but I want to pound it home a little bit. I am in love right now with Josh Reynolds without Brandon Cooks there. He is fast. He's speedy. Jared Goff is going to go downfield in this game. Love Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I do too. I had him down also. He's 3,800 on DraftKings this week,
That's a steal.
and he had 8 targets last week, or their last game. They had a bye
Yep.
last week, and yeah, Cooks is out again. Yeah, I love Reynolds this week.
Drake is actually 5,500.
5,500. DJ's 5,700. So I mean,
It could help you somewhere else. That's,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
the big
it-
thing about it.
right. The thing is, Tampa Bay's run defense is one of the top in the league. So it's really going to come down to who gets the pass game work in this game between the two. Is who's probably going to be more relevant this week.
It's going to be an interesting play. So I do have a couple starts at running back. I'm going to go with David Montgomery. Detroit's bottom 3 in damn near everything.
Yeah.
Running back receiving yards, their running back rushing yards, running back receiving touchdowns, and they're 9th in running back rushing touchdowns.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on this pick too. I mean,
Yeah, Montgomery's
Yeah.
$5,000
play.
He's
Yeah,
$5,000 on DFS
That's a steal.
with the
yeah,
premier matchup.
they're gonna be start using him more heavily once they realize Trubisky's trash.
Yeah. So, I mean, why wouldn't you? I'll go ahead and move to my other start. I don't know if you guys brought two to the table. So Derrick Henry, Kansas City, literally, to put it in perspective, barely better than Cincinnati against running backs.
Yeah, but is Patrick Mahomes going to come out with a vengeance and make sure
madder
the Titans
than
have
hell.
to pass?
That doesn't make the defense change. I mean, the other team still has but there are a ton of rushing yards against them.
So halftime, 30-6, and they're going to run Derrick Henry.
They've still been playing with the lead.
And
they're still 6-3.
Henry's been involved in the pass game, and he had three
He has.
catches last week and a touchdown. So.
He has.
So the big thing is Kansas City, they struggle against the bruising running backs. So Ingram had 3 touchdowns and 103 yards. Hyde had 116 yards and a touchdown. Like, that's what I see. Derrick Henry is like a scarier version than both of those guys. And I'm not his biggest fan. We all know that. But I think Henry's going to ball out against Kansas City.
I like Henry this week.
Our own back row writer, Chris Foster, says, Goff sucks, though. Better off with Ginn on DraftKings. I don't like that.
I like Ginn's matchup this week. And
He's not too costly either.
No, he's 3,700, but I mean,
Traquan hasn't done anything, but he is back. I don't know. I just can't trust Ginn.
no, you can't. I mean, he's boomer bust for sure. But I mean, he hits the one deep ball, he pays off his price and more at low ownership. I don't think he'll be high owned at all.
I'm just thinking about the targets. I mean,
Yeah,
Josh
Reynolds will
targets.
definitely get the targets over again.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any so I started with the running back. Do you guys have any sits at running back?
We'll have more starts, if that matters.
Go ahead.
Let's
Sorry.
Let's keep going starts.
My main start is Hux and my guy, Josh Allen. He is like one of the most consistent quarterbacks out there. He scores mid-20s every time.
I was talking about running back, but whatever.
Well, we already have our running backs. But either way, Josh Allen, I think, gets the Browns, especially if Garrett's not going to be there. Allen's going to have a lot more time. That's such a great matchup for him, I believe.
I'll throw a sneaky running back start at you. And this is, listen, what'd you call it earlier, Arms? The bipocalypse?
Yeah.
So right now there's a ton.
That's from the round table, by the way. Give Brewing some credit there.
Matt Brewing and company at the Fantasy Football Roundtable, the bipocalypse. There's a ton of guys on buys this week. Now, I'm not saying this is a must start. That's not what I'm going with. I'm saying you're thin, you have no one. Like last week, I had to start Paul Perkins in a league because of last week's bipocalypse. Thank God he got me 1.5 instead of 0.
Yeah.
But
Did you win?
I did.
Jesus Christ.
What
What did the other guy have?
My wide receivers are Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin, Kenny Galladay, and Cortland Sutton.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean,
That would help.
I'm solid in that league. And Lamar Jackson at quarterback. But Brian Hill of the Falcons, I'm not saying he's going to get a ton of run, but Devontae Freeman reportedly was involved in some trade talks before the deadline. That doesn't mean a lot. Devontae Freeman's still going to pace him in carries. I have no doubt about that. But Ito Smith is hurt. Brian Hill showed something last week, showed flashes, got into the end zone. And I think if the Falcons want to try to spark their team, they might give this kid a little bit of run. So if you're staring down the barrel at Paul Perkins or Le'Veon Bell this week, Le'Veon Bell's going to get some catches. Don't listen to me there. But if you're staring down the barrel at just bipocalypse, I think Brian Hill's a guy you can grab off waivers, plug in. I mean, you're probably getting 5 to 10 just because he's playing the Ito Smith role.
I love that 5 points.
You could, it
matters.
It's really underrated to go out. I just traded for LaShawn McCoy in our league of record because I traded Royce Freeman. If Damian Williams gets hurt again, LaShawn McCoy's a 10-point guy. Not much more than that, but sometimes you got to have those 5 to 10-point guys instead of making some crazy whack play like Ty Johnson, of the Lions, when Paul Perkins could get some extra.
Although that may not be a terrible play this week.
No, I kind of like Ty Johnson a little bit, not a lot. I like him about as much as Brian Hill. But me and Ray GQ from the DDP podcast, Tongue Tied, we both like Brian Hill. It's not a sexy pick. It's not a big name, but it's a guy that could get a little bit extra
available.
Oh,
that's what it amounts out to be. He's actually available.
Super available.
In our league, he wouldn't be.
He's probably not available. Brian Pringle's on a freaking roster.
Yeah.
Brian Hill's on my roster,
Byron
so you're
Pringle,
correct.
whatever.
He's not available.
He's on my roster.
Not available, Brian Hill. So I do like Brian Hill a little bit.
All right, Hux, wide receiver.
Yeah, I got a few down here.
You don't have to do wide receiver. Not sure why he's trying to
I'm
call
just
it
going down.
position
I'm going
shots.
down my list here.
I'll go wide receiver.
Go tight end. Just to spite
Actually,
him.
you know what? Neil started with the quarterback. Go ahead and hit
Quarterback.
Oh, you still listening to what Arm says? Huh?
All right.
I mean, you're like a bag of cats right now, so I'm trying to keep the shit organized.
Obviously, you got your obvious guys out there. I'm gonna go with a cheaper guy. He's a 5,100 on DraftKings. I like Tannehill this week against the Chiefs.
So do I. So does Arms.
I love Tannehill. Let me tell you a little bit about Tannehill.
Let's go.
Since we're going on it.
He sucked in Miami.
In the past
He was okay.
in the past 3 weeks since he took over starting job, he's quarterback 7. Okay, so not only is he quarterback 7, what has he done? AJ Brown is averaging 11.5 points a game now. Jonnu Smith is averaging right around 11.5 points a game. Now, AJ Brown's about wide receiver, I want to say 27-ish in the last 3 weeks. Jonnu Smith is tight end 6
Janu.
in that same time frame. Tannehill immediately made the pass catchers better. As we talked about in the preseason, immediately made the pass catchers better in Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's got a good matchup, and I think it kind of goes with, I don't know. I think Derrick Henry will be involved no matter what. I mean, Deion Lewis hasn't been a factor at all. But obviously they're playing the Chiefs. They want to stay in the game. They're probably going to have to throw the ball.
Like, the only options are they run the hell out of it. But
Yeah, I mean,
odds
they
are,
could-
if Mahomes looks like he's coming back this week.
Oh, yeah. They already announced he's starting.
All right, so odds are the Chiefs still get up on him, and they're going to have to throw.
Tannehill's going to have like 2 touchdowns, a pick, and like 340 yards or something.
Perfect.
That's
For dirt cheap.
great for that price.
That's
so,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I was going to say, take away both points on those 2 interceptions he gets. Okay.
Yeah.
Still 30-point play.
Let me ask a question real quick. Bengals, AJ Green out indefinitely. I think it's because he doesn't want to play. I think most of us probably think that too. Like, why play for an 0-8 team that's not paying you, that's not.
But
This is last year of his contract, too.
He allegedly wants to resign, though, which I don't know
He
why.
doesn't want to resign.
I don't think he wants to
He's coming
resign
for the
either.
money. If they're going to offer him a giant pile, okay, I'll lose next year again.
He'd be crazy not to go for a title, but whoever that title team is would pay him some money. But this week, who do you like? Right now, there's 3 guys that have been performing about the same, except, well, one of them's a little cut above the rest, which is crazy. Do you like Tyler Boyd, who's been kind of mediocre? That I traded him at the right time. Auden Tate, who's been better than expected, but not spectacular.
Or someone available in your waiver wire, most likely.
Or Alex Erickson, who's been pretty freaking good the last 2 games. Who's the Cincinnati wide receiver to start this week?
I mean, I have Auden Tate wrote down.
Yeah, the ACC guy.
Well, I mean, he had
I don't hate it.
the Florida State guy.
I don't think Alex Erickson's going to have a third great game.
It's
in a row.
really, I mean, it's really hard to tell. You got a rookie quarterback making his debut against Baltimore. But Tate, he had 13 targets last week. Well, their last game. The last time they played Baltimore, he had 11 targets. Marlon Humphreys, he covered Tyler Boyd last time they played.
Yep.
They didn't have Jimmy Smith last time they played. I believe he's back now. But I mean, especially on DraftKings, he's at 4K. I like Tate this week.
I'm going I'd get Tate for the fact that an ACC guy thrown to another ACC guy.
I actually have Tate in a couple of my lineups as well. But interesting thing about
I got
Erickson.
Tate too, just for the record.
Erickson in the last 3 weeks, 6 targets.
It's been great.
14 targets and 7 targets.
Yeah, he's been good.
Over the last 3 weeks, this guy is wide receiver 12.
Yeah, he's good. But who was Ryan Finley throwing the ball to the most in camp? That's what I want to know.
Tate
Yeah, I thought
Probably-
It could have
Tate
been
and
Erickson.
Probably Tate and Erickson, yeah.
exactly. So I mean, it's
So, yeah, it'll
interesting.
be-
It's going to be an interesting game to watch.
Now, can that line protect him enough to get the
Well,
ball out? We don't know.
I don't know. See, here's what I hate. Everybody's talking about AJ Green. Of course, you don't want to play like 0-8 and Ryan Finley. Andy Dalton wasn't great. I'm more encouraged by Ryan Finley maybe creating a spark than I was Andy Dalton.
I might throw a Ryan Finley lineup in on DraftKings. He's got to be cheap.
I'm not doing
He's
that
only-
shit. I'm not doing that.
I think he's only 5K. Maybe.
Like a 3. By the way, speaking of 5K, I posted something on Twitter the other day, and Baker Mayfield at $5,000.
He's only $4,800.
Okay, Baker Mayfield at $5,000 is below, I think, Andy Dalton. Equaled Andy Dalton, Marcus Mariota, and there was RG3.
Yeah.
There's 3 guys. They're second stringers that they're like, yeah, we just have a little same amount of confidence in them scoring 10 points as we do Baker Mayfield.
That was insane.
That it's disrespect. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far.
Warrantedly, but you
think Baker Mayfield's checking DraftKings, see how much his price is?
No, but what I'm talking about is just like he's performed bad, but man,
real bad.
That's about the cheapest quarterback you're going to get.
Well, to be fair, Mayfield's gonna have a bad day against the Bills' pass defense.
Oh yeah, but
there's 2 starting quarterbacks lower than him: Finley and Mason Rudolph.
Give me Rudolph.
Give me Rudolph twice.
Give me Finley too over Baker. Did you guys see the Baker Mayfield, like after his last press conference, like the guy from South Park's head photoshopped on him that looked
Randy Marsh.
Oh my God, so good.
I seen a meme that said Baker Mayfield looks like he just said, "Come on, Karen, the kids are all I got. Let me see."
Yeah, I saw that too. That was pretty good. Man, it sucks. I really did wish the best for Baker Mayfield, but at the same time, like,
they'll turn it around. It might not be this year, but
he might have needed that slice of humble pie.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
He might have needed.
You got to get rid of Kitchens. Like,
yeah.
Jesus.
Does he make it through the season?
Then there's no way.
I don't know why the hell he's made it this far.
I don't either.
The fact that he's made it this far makes me think he'll make it through the season.
Well, they did keep Cordell an extra season after going 0-16.
But didn't you enjoy the meme that shows that Baker has more commercials than he does touchdowns?
He does.
Yeah,
it's sad. Like the dude's, you want to talk about an embarrassment for an endorsement deal, right? Like the guy's like the face of what State Farm, the face like there's
Hulu,
all kinds of different things, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, thank God that Hulu finally got Saquon. They're like, well, this our service will do nothing, just like Baker Mayfield. That's live sports. Just don't watch the Browns.
I'll throw another start in there. I think Jameis Winston's played pretty well lately. I kind of really like him against the Cardinals because the Cardinals are capable of putting up points, and Jameis is capable of bringing the Buccaneers back from a deficit. Not saying he's a great quarterback.
Not all the way back, but
yeah, not all the way back.
He puts a lot of yards up.
What's the over-under on that? Like 50?
52 and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know, but one thing is his receivers are absolutely incredible. I mean, that's one thing you can say. Like
all the way down to Brashard Perryman.
I don't know about all that.
Had a good week last week.
Everybody besides Howard.
You shut your mouth.
That's truth. Everybody besides. Now Ronald Jones going to get that run he deserves.
Yeah, he announces the starter.
The
bell cow.
The Rojo. And that's a good start. That's a damn good start this week against the Cardinals.
Yeah. Cheap start.
We've been waiting 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm. We've been waiting.
A couple more starts I've got. Jameson Crowder. The Giants have allowed the most yards and touchdowns this year. Only stat they're not leading against receivers is receptions. So that means big plays are going against them constantly.
So Robbie Anderson, maybe?
I'm going with Crowder. I was right last time with Crowder. I'll stick with Crowder.
I'm with arms on this one.
He's like, let it ride.
Higher target share.
Robbie's been
I have Crowder wrote down. You said big plays, so it made me think Robbie Anderson.
Anderson's going to probably be low owned as well, though. I mean, honestly, but
needs to stay there.
Jets usually are. They should be.
As they should be. As they should be.
I mean, I got excited about Josh Adams this week. Now Le'Veon Bell's probably going to play, so I was like, never mind.
We talked about Pascal earlier, and then another one, Christian Kirk. I mean, 9 targets a game in the games he actually played this season without being injured. Tampa Bay has allowed the most fantasy points to wide receivers all year.
Isabella and Keyshawn are working their way back in there a little bit too. I think that's kind of encouraging for that offense.
I love Keyshawn. I hate anytime someone tries to like get him as a throw in. I'm like, Isabella. I don't know about getting rid of Keyshawn. Mm-hmm. I think he can be good long term.
Really like Isabella. I'm gonna do a repeat of what I did with the Bengals. Who is the Miami Dolphins running back? If you're desperate, who's the running back for the Dolphins to play this week? Is it Kalen Ballage, who's been absolutely awful? Is it Myles Gaskins, who hasn't really gotten any run at all? Or is it DeLance Turner, who Miami just signed off of Baltimore's practice squad?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that happens. The Lions showed we'll just trade Carson, come in here, and we'll bail Khaled up. I mean, you never know. Who's it going to be?
What about Patrick Laird?
It could be Patrick Laird, too.
I think it's Gaskins' time to shine. Come on, guys.
Man, I don't know.
I like Gaskins preseason, honestly.
I'm saying, but Ballage, he's not been that great. The coaching staff doesn't love him. Then
the coaching staff does love him.
I don't see that the way they use him. It's weird. I don't
You're
know.
not on the coaching staff, Neil.
I should be.
No doubt.
True.
No doubt.
I would use Kenyon Drake a lot more.
Well, yeah. That ship has sailed, my friend. But just a question I wanted to throw up because it could be like the Lions. We may not know who comes out on top in that one. Like, they could give Ballage 2 carries. He gets 2 yards, and they could be like, let's try Gaskins. He breaks 1 for 7. Oh, let's do it again. He gets 5. All of a sudden, Myles Gaskins, 10 carries, 46 yards. Miami Dolphins Hall of Fame.
Best is Ronnie Brown, right?
Absolutely. God, I loved Ronnie Brown. I really did. He disappointed. But when he was healthy and they gave him the ample amount of carries, dude was good. Him and Cadillac Williams. Him and Cadillac.
On the same team at Auburn. That's crazy when you think about it.
That was a ridiculous team. Ridiculous running backs. It was like, who was the... Oh, God. There's a Minnesota. Maroney and...
Marion Barber.
Marion Barber, yeah.
MB3.
So, tight end. You guys got anyone tight end?
I do. I was just getting ready to talk about him, but I want to hear a few of you guys' first.
Well, you tell us all about Gesicki real quick.
No, we mentioned Gesicki once.
Well, I can throw out the Colts tight ends. I don't care which one you pick.
All of them?
Yeah, Doyle, Ebron, start them both.
I'll tell you who has gotten has a little bump in target share over the past couple weeks, and now with Adam Thielen out, Irv Smith has been respectable. 2 out of the last 3 games, 6 targets. He went 5 for 60 against the Lions in Week 7, 4 for 33 against the Chiefs. Not eye-popping, but he is trending in the right direction. So if he gets 6 or more targets this week, he scores.
It's nice that they're actually using the tight end down there because even Rudolph wasn't seeing that much target share at all either.
No, but I really think Rudolph is just not that great anymore.
I agree.
He's never been great. He's always been overrated, but he was startable and he had a couple solid seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if I'm the Vikings, I'm going to see what I got in Irv Smith with Thielen out.
Smith's looked all right in the last few weeks. I wouldn't say he's like tight end 25-ish, but
he's seeing more field time right now because of the fact he's a better run blocker.
Trending upward.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready to play him this week, but it wouldn't shock me if he gets a touchdown. 2 catches, 30 yards and touchdown.
Hey, I'm happy with the 4 receptions and 50-some yards or 40-some yards. That's 8 points. I'll take that. Sad, but true.
Another one, since you bashed on him earlier, I'm going to go ahead and defend my guy, O.J. Howard. Arizona just can't defend the tight end. It's horrible. This is actually, I think, the 32nd and 31st, this matchup, Arizona versus Tampa Bay, the worst tight end defenses in the league. So, by the way, hey, throw out Charles Clay or whoever, Max Williams, or whoever the hell else plays for Arizona if you're desperate.
Arizona still doesn't use tight ends. I thought that would change a little bit in the air raid, just a little. It didn't. You guys want another question real quick?
Sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Rock Out, ROCOUT. He says, he's watching on YouTube. Thank you, Mr. Rock Out. Would you trade, apparently trading season's still going on in his league, Zeke, Hopkins, and Tevin Coleman?
Probably not, whatever the other side is, but it better be good.
Hold on. Zeke, Hopkins, Coleman. Neil's writing it down. I'll give you a second. The suspense is building. Okay. Zeke Elliott, DeAndre Hopkins, and Tevin Coleman. 4, Dalvin Cook. It's already getting juicy. Aaron Jones, better than Tevin Coleman, getting juicy. Kenny Golladay, producing.
No.
I don't think I can do that.
My biggest question is why is this trade needing to happen?
Yeah.
Rock out. Would you like to tell us why this trade?
Is it a bye week scenario that I'm missing, or is it?
Yeah, is it a bye week thing? Is it you
Well,
just need?
Dallas plays this week, right?
Well,
So does Cook. So
listen, maybe Rock out who has
So do
Zeke.
the Packers. Sorry.
Maybe Rock out who has Zeke doesn't have. Maybe Tevin Coleman's is number 2. If you can go from Zeke and Coleman to Cook and Aaron Jones, but your drop off is Hopkins to Galladay.
I guess it depends on your roster construction because let's say you've got Mike Thomas.
I'm saying.
I mean, is Aaron Jones that much of a upgrade over Coleman?
Yes.
I don't know.
Right now, yeah.
To drop from Hopkins to Galladay, I wouldn't do it.
I think the Hopkins production right now is an anomaly.
That's just me.
Yeah, I think I've got to hang on to the Zeke side.
This is where I get back into the names. Like,
I mean,
it's Hopkins.
It's not names. Zeke's leading the league in rushing, isn't he?
Quietly.
He's not doing it. I mean, he's not. Hold on. Let's compare. So Hopkins 17.8 a game in our league of record. Galladay 17.9. You're losing nothing. Honestly, you're not losing anything. Running back wise, Ezekiel Elliott 19 a game
behind both Jones and Cook.
Huh?
He's behind
Cook's
both
ahead
Jones
of Cook,
and
yeah,
Cook.
Cook's ahead of Zeke.
Yeah, 19 a game. You said Cook. Yeah, Cook 23 a game. Aaron Jones 20. Sorry, I'm not fiddling over the big names.
I guess Cook's beating him, and Cook and McCaffrey both out rushing Zeke too.
Zeke's a great player, but he's a massive name. This is what we were talking about earlier in the show. Rockout says, I gotta win all out to make the playoffs. Like he's going all in. Rockout, I believe I'd take the Cook, Jones, and Galladay side of it to me.
It's gonna be hard though. I've got to believe Nook finishes the rest of the season better than Galladay, and honestly, it's a push. But I guess once again, depends on your roster construction, right?
It does.
I'm biased towards Hopkins, obviously. I don't know if Brian is towards Cook or not, but
I mean, I'm looking at the numbers. If you're making a run at it, the Cook, Jones, Galladay gives you more overall points than Zeke Hopkins. You're getting where's Tevin Coleman?
Has the Cook, Jones, Galladay all have their buys?
I
know Galladay
Jones's buy is this week. I think Dalvin Cook's is next week.
Jones has a bye this week. I thought.
But Ezekiel Elliott, he's had his bye.
Dalvin's is week 12.
Yeah, or Green Bay plays this week.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I know for a fact.
Yeah.
Oh, the bye's in week 11 for them. I'm sorry.
So if you're
so on the other side is Zeke, Hopkins, and Tevin Coleman had their buys.
Hopkins is on bye this week, I think.
I believe you're right.
I think it's counterproductive.
I think so.
If you have Zeke, I think you're working against yourself at this point because I'm 99% sure that the Niners had an early bye.
Yeah, they did.
Like week 5,
week 4.
Dude,
Okay.
I'm dumping the big.
I'm just saying, if you're wanting to win out, you're missing 2 games with. I mean, you're getting bye weeks the next couple of weeks. So those guys.
Roster makeup definitely comes into play. Who's your third running back after Tevin Coleman if you're making this deal?
And who's your number 4 receiver?
Right.
I tend to agree with Brian. If you're like trying to win out, you can't have your big guys on the bye weeks.
Also, if this is a dynasty, like
he's trying to win now, so
yeah, I'm saying that does change things a little bit, of course. Oh man, that's a good one.
It's a great one.
That's a real good one. I mean, you've got question marks around. Like you've got character issues with Aaron Jones, you got character issues with Zeke, you got injury issues with Coleman. Like the 2 clean guys are the receivers, and Nook wins that one hands down, long term.
Pumpkin.
So. All right, so
absolutely,
we talked about all these. I'm just going to run through without a lot of detail on my starts at tight end. Irv Smith, just like a desperation play if you need him. O.J. Howard, reason I gave you, I said, an Arizona tight end, pick your poison. I would go Charles Clay. Gesicki, we talked about him earlier. Johnny Smith, once again, same reason. If you're dealing with buys,
just listed every guy I had wrote down.
Okay, if you're dealing with buys,
time, right?
Yeah,
except for Austin Hooper. Have you talked about him?
Who? No, he's balling out. Like huge mistake for me. But those are the guys that I'm wanting to roll out in Bipocalypse, and cheap plays on DFS.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of them are dirt cheap, I think.
I never thought I would see this, but Gesicki is projected to be the highest owned tight end this week on DraftKings.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's crazy.
That's incredible.
All right, so Rock Out. Thanks for that question, Rock Out. That's a good one for us to add to the show. He says, I also have Damian Williams and Devin Singletary. I'm okay with Singletary to fill in. On
Singletary, I'm high right now.
I like Damian Williams this week.
Yeah.
I like Damian too. Damian Williams was great last week.
Yeah.
So
I want your team.
I want your team too. Yeah,
Singletary, give me that.
I love Cook, Jones, and Galladay in that for the rest of the season. I know Zeke and Hopkins are bigger names, but you've got elite fantasy performers, 3 of them for 2. I like those odds. He also has Waller. Waller's been a little
He's inconsistent.
little down lately, but
Peaks and valleys.
Got that
you
money.
still got to start him.
He got that money, and he said, "I'm good."
He's had one good game since then.
Still got to start him.
Yeah, definitely.
Hope we get a few more questions, even though we're running out of time, anyways. But yeah, any more sits and starts?
Well, sits. We haven't really did sits, have we?
Let's start talking some.
Well, my running back is my boy Carson. I don't
You're gonna sit Carson?
Yeah, it's
He's
good.
playing the Niners.
It's kind of an easy one in a way, but Drake did much better. But Drake's also more dynamic. He's a lot better than Carson is at catching the ball out of the backfield. So I don't see Carson's production being that great this week.
I actually have Carson as a sit this week.
I do too. That's what I'm saying.
My running back sit this week is Le'Veon.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just his price. It's $6,900, and I just like the other guys around him.
So to carry on to the Carson thing, Niners only allowed 2 touchdowns to the running back position this year, and towards the top of the league as far as yards allowed. I mean, that defense is ridiculous. Mine to defer at all costs, avoid Devonta Freeman. Very quietly, the New Orleans Saints have the 2nd best rush defense in the league outside the Patriots.
Yeah, that game's going to be a shootout. I think Atlanta comes out of that bye week.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think Matt Ryan's back. I think there's going to. I mean, honestly, I think it could be like a 45 to.
I see Ryan struggling.
27.
We had this conversation last year.
Still shootout.
Almost verbatim, and the final score was like 16-19.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I think that I think New Orleans has found something on defense.
I have Brian as my sit. I thought it was gonna be a struggle.
I don't know. I think they come out. I mean, they're gonna lose, and I don't know. I just think, as bad as they've been, I just think they're gonna at least score some points this week. The defense is still trash. I think the Saints score 40 plus this week.
Yeah.
So, I just think there's too much talent on that offense, especially the receiving core. Just lay down.
Probably should have called Mark Ingram as a massive start this week too.
Well, yeah.
But
I feel like it's a kind of an obvious at this point.
It is. Maybe we need our not so obvious starts of the week and not so obvious sits of the week. But sits, I'll get back into the sits.
Ingram's not real cheap on DraftKings.
Oh no, he's 7,300. He's expensive.
Well, we're not based completely around DraftKings.
I know, but whenever we're calling a start, like I'm taking Chubb probably over Ingram.
Yeah.
Chubb.
How do you feel about Parker being a sit this week? He's really consistent, but like
Devontae?
Yeah, but where they're out of receivers now, so it's just him and Gesicki. Would you consider him a sit this week?
Depends on my roster makeup, but I'm
starting him in the league. I have him.
I'm not excited to sit Devontae Parker. I still don't think he's that great.
I'm starting Jakeem Grant in one league, so
it happens.
I'm going to double
in the league of record.
I mean, you've got Albert Wilson. There's other players.
They lost Preston. So
Alan Hearns has been playing okay for him.
I've got Alan Hearns.
Alan Hearns.
Yeah, his role's probably going to increase over the rest of the season.
He's a $3,000 play on DraftKings.
Yeah.
He's the cheapest wide receiver you can buy.
I just don't know if I trust him to put up. I mean, he's done better, but it's like, what's he going to do? Four for 44?
I mean,
it's DraftKings. You want massive upside. I don't think Alan Hearns has massive upside in that.
But he can hit that deep ball.
Yeah, he's a
When was
previous
the last
1,000-yard
time he did
receiver.
that?
Well, yeah, I mean,
2014. It's been a while, but he can do it.
It's just a little scary when you could grab Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I like Josh Reynolds this week. We've talked about him.
I want to give him a back rub before the game. That's how much I love him this week.
Okay.
A lot.
All right. Good for you.
Guys ready for another question real quick?
Yes.
Love it.
Go ahead.
Bring them on.
The questions are good. They're gold tonight. Rock Out has another one.
Oh, this should be good.
I know. Rock Out. Thanks for rocking us out. 2 flex. Pick 2. Cooper, I assume you mean Amari. Tevin Coleman, Zach Pascal, or Damian Williams.
Cooper and Pascal.
Is it Cooper Cup or Amari Cooper?
Either way, it's Cooper and Pascal.
There's no way you're sitting either one of those two.
Yeah.
Whatever Cooper
Is
it
Cooper
is.
going to play? Isn't he questionable?
He was questionable. If Amari Cooper plays, or if it's Cooper Cup, you start that one, and then I think it's Zach Pascal after that.
Yeah,
Damian Williams close third. Tevin Coleman, I think when they give him the run, it's good, but Matt Breida is good too, and Jimmy G found a way to throw the ball since Emmanuel Sanders came. So Cooper all day, Pascal next. Anybody got Williams over Pascal?
No, I had
No.
Pascal.
No.
I like Williams this week, but
Full PPR. So Damian Williams with Patrick Mahomes is pretty good.
I mean, he had his best game of the year last week, and
He did.
without Mahomes. So,
That's true.
but maybe since he was productive,
Stick
I
with
mean, they're
Pascal.
gonna,
Yeah.
they're actually gonna give him the touches.
get over to him.
I've got a couple more.
That's tough, to
Sits.
be honest. Go ahead.
You guys have any more sets?
He said Amari Cooper. If Amari Cooper plays, you start him.
Go for it, Arms.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Avoiding the Browns receivers this week, not going to shock me at all if, like, Odell Beckham has 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I like Jarvis Landry this week.
But
I like Beckham.
your Bills have only allowed 2 receiving touchdowns to wide receivers this year at all.
They dump all over the receivers, like I said.
I was saying maybe 1 or 2 to tight ends. Like, they shut down the pass like crazy. Kind of the same thing, though, with Galladay and Marvin Jones Jr.
Both of them are producing. They've abandoned the run. I like both of those rest of the year.
But Chicago is shutting down the pass almost as effectively.
Yeah.
They've only allowed 3 touchdowns to wide receivers this year.
Second
like-
half of the season, things change.
Once again, I'm not. You don't start them when you're, your dynasty leagues or your home leagues, but on DFS, I think that just really bad matchups.
Oh,
So-
DFS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not playing the Detroit guys this week.
Completely. See, I'm getting confused lately with the DFS crossover.
Yeah, that's why I specify when I talk about my guys
Yeah,
at the
thank
beginning.
you for that, Hux. Thank you. I'm still stuck on you being Arms. Thanks for that, Hux. I appreciate it.
I only have one more sit, and it's a dumb one.
Have at it.
If you have a better option, which you probably don't, and if you're playing like the whole weekend worth of DFS, I'm avoiding Russell Wilson.
I can't set Russell Wilson.
The 49ers they've allowed 10 points per game to opposing quarterbacks.
Can we go to
Did you
what
see what-
quarterbacks do they play?
Did you see what the Ravens just did to the Patriots, who have the historical defense going on this year?
The Niners are special too, though.
I know. I'm just saying it can
It's-
happen. And Russell Wilson is a
Still
special
has-
type of
still
player.
has- yeah.
But the Niners have something that
They're going to lose one of these weeks.
I know the Niners have
gonna
something
be
the
this week.
Patriots don't.
Or they're going to have a close game that they win that they got tore up through the air. It's,
Niners haven't really played that many good quarterbacks.
But they've got a wicked pass rush.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
sure.
Buckner, Bosa. I mean, they can get after the quarterback.
Everyone has an off night now and again.
I
I'm not going to sit people based on the Niners defense anymore.
All I'm saying is you're playing the whole weekend worth of DFS all the way into Monday. Like you got to avoid Wilson.
Oh, Shane asked if you were wearing a Raiders hat. Start from the beginning, Shane. Go back, listen tomorrow. Listen in the morning. I wish we had Lamb here. I'd be like, 96.7 in the morning with the Lamb.
All right. Across the board for tight ends, I don't think there's a horrible matchup. I didn't have a set. Did you guys have a set on tight end?
Mine was Howard. We already discussed him.
Yeah,
I guess that's about it. I've got nothing else.
Jordan Howard. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
would-
going to be wrong on this, but I'm on DraftKings purposes only. I'm not going to play Christian Kirk this week because he's projected as the highest owned receiver at over 30%.
I don't like Kirk this week
So
either.
I mean, the matchup's great because he's playing Tampa Bay and they're awful.
It is, but
He's good. He's 5,200, but I'm not playing him just because ownership purposes. I'm going to try to go away from what everybody else is doing.
yeah.
And I've been horrible to DraftKings this year, so.
I was going to say, then whenever he, catches
That's what I said.
has 150 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, you're like, damn it.
Well, that's okay.
Puts up a Mike Evans like
our DFS guy on the show says I've been horrible at DFS football this year.
Been a crazy year, man.
It has. Any more questions from viewers before we sign off? We'll give you about 30 seconds to type them in. In those 30 seconds, what are you going to win a championship this year?
Yes.
No.
What league?
None of them.
You're going to win?
No.
What the hell?
I got that locked up.
I'm not in that
I'm not
league. I
concerned
don't know.
about it. I'm going to be the wild card. And I'm running around the table.
Let me get my note program up. Hold on.
I've got another one to where Mike Evans is my number 3 receiver. So I'm pretty comfortable in that.
I'm going to win
too.
the Brill and Red Zone this year.
Oh, I'm not going to even sniff the playoffs in red zone. Only thing I'm doing in red zone is playing myself out of the first overall
I lost
pick,
to Denny,
which I don't have, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I had bye weeks hit me last week.
Okay, so Arms says he's winning the Brill. Arms winning the Brill. Neil
I do have a
says-
league that I've got Matt Ryan, Chubb, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, Travis Kelce. I mean, that's a solid ass team too.
Josh Allen or Jared Goff this week?
Give me Allen.
Give me Goff.
Who's Goff play this week?
Allen's consistent.
Plays at Pittsburgh.
Oh, give me Goff.
Well, their pass defense is pretty good. I just have a good feeling about Goff this week.
Well, Steelers defense isn't bad. It's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Gotten better.
But Allen's gonna get you like the guaranteed mid-20s at least. I mean,
I
he's
think
consistent.
Allen's the safer play.
I like Goff to put up 30 this week. Hux, are you going to win a league this year?
No.
No.
Well, I'm in contention in a couple redraft leagues, but dynasty-wise, no.
Hell, I'm in contention still in EFC.
I am too. Sadly, if I win
in the league of record, I just once we get outside of our half of the bracket, it's gonna be dicey. It's gonna take some.
Well, yeah, I'm
some
in the
breaks.
playoffs currently, but I'm not going to stay there.
I think I'm going to win New Blood. Nothing to be excited about, to be honest. But Brill, I think I'll be in contention, but I'm not going to win it.
What are you going to get yourself for that league this year?
Pride.
I got a trophy for you down at the house.
I know. I never got the trophy, so
I got it for you
for winning
down at the house. It's from our sponsor, Blow.
How are you going to hate?
It's from our sponsor, Blow Trophy.
How are you going to hate me in the Brill?
BlowTrophy.com.
Just out of curiosity, what don't you like about my team in the Brill? I know my running backs are a little weak, but my wide receivers are stupid good.
Let me pull them shits up. Let me tell you what I don't like about them. Give me just a moment.
Tight ends
here.
weak. Defense is real solid.
Arms. What don't you like about me in the Brill?
JJ Watt going down did.
You know
hurt.
what we don't
It
like
hurt
about
bad.
you in the Brill?
Oh, I'll also while we're waiting.
You're the owner.
While we're waiting on questions.
Brill is the back row invitational league, just so you know.
While we're waiting on questions, keep an eye on Gary Jennings going forward.
Boy, I can tell you what I don't like about you in the Brill real freaking quick.
My tight end.
Your running backs are mediocre.
I believe in Geis, man.
Freeman, Geis, and Sanders.
Yeah, you're not winning nothing.
I'm not looking at that thinking championship.
Who's his quarterback?
Breeze and Carr.
Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, Chark, Thielen, Thomas, McLaurin. I like that. That's solid. You do not have a tight end.
O.J. Howard, second half emergence.
No chance in hell. Your defense is...
My ends are bad.
Your linebackers aren't great.
My linebackers are all right. My defensive backs are great.
Your linebackers are okay. Your defensive
What's your record in this league?
Are decent.
Five game winning streak, though.
So that's all it takes for him to win the Brill.
Dude, I'm on fire.
Winning streak. He's on fire.
And this week, if I get through this week unscathed, which is all bad buys, like I'm, just taking some rough shots with the bye weeks. Chark's out, McLaurin's out. If I can make it through there, Thielen is hurt. Yeah, if I can make it through there, I'm good.
Neil, you're 8-1, but you're kind of hurting right now.
I know. It's getting me there. James White's getting me there.
Yeah, he's helping, but you got T.Y. Hilton out.
My record's good. My record's good enough to where I can go a few weeks while he's out.
You're going to be leaning on Sanders and Pascal to pair up with Tyler Lockett.
It's not bad.
I like that.
It's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad.
Really solid for the next 3 weeks.
To be fair, I also have Juju there, which he's obviously trash.
You do?
I thought I did in that league.
You don't.
I don't. Never mind then. Disregard.
You do
So
not.
too many leagues, brother. Too many leagues. Trust me, I understand.
That's what happens.
I'm like, no, I've made offers.
I've
to
gone
someone, I'm
back
like,
and forth and
what
everything.
would you take for this guy? And I'll give you this. And they're like, all right. They go look at my team. They're like, you don't have him. I'm like, oh yeah, it's another league. My bad.
The
My
Brill's
bad.
going to be interesting. It's getting more interesting.
When
got-
you're talking to
It'd
16,
be nice to be in that league. I don't know what happened.
Well,
There's going to be an open spot or two, Huck. So if you want in there,
when you're in
Yeah,
a 16
I do.
teamer, having a few
I do. Let me take over now.
extremely strong position spots
Possible.
could make the difference. I mean, that's the way I see it.
What,
A
Frank's
16
team?
teamer.
got an 0-9 team that has done nothing
Do they
to
still have their
improve his
pick?
team. I can tell you.
I just gave up my first get.
Because if they don't have their pick, I don't want it.
0-9 team. I bet he traded it. He's just been awful.
Nothing.
He does not have his own, but he has 4 firsts.
Ooh.
So here's what he's got. 4, and then we'll sign off. 4 firsts. At quarterback, it's Phillip Rivers and nothing else. At running back, he does have Melvin Gordon and Tevin Coleman. He's 0-9. So, I mean, so far that's not terrible. Wide receivers, that's where he's hurting a good bit. Mike Williams, Sammy Watkins, and Curtis Samuel are his best.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
It's not horrible. It's just not great. Tight end, Vance McDonald. He's got both Bosa brothers.
Oh,
Ooh,
I like
that's
that.
hot there.
It's a nice pickup.
I like it.
Linebacker, he's got Trevethan, Tahir Whitehead, not big names, but big production. And he's got Jamal Adams and Kevin Byard, Derwin James.
How was he doing?
Sign me up.
Sign him up.
And it's not signing no one caring about the team.
That'll probably be Hux's team.
I'm taking it.
I do have
Give it to
another
me right
one.
now.
And Frank, if you want to say you're just going to kick me out, you're the only person that hadn't paid.
Oh, yeah. He's
Yeah.
been long gone.
So it's up for auction right now.
I do have another league that I'm comfortable in, but I'm 4-5. But I have Melvin Gordon. Like he was my number. We drafted way early before the holdout situation. So I got Breeze, Bell, Gordon. I got to skip down to my bench because bye weeks have annihilated me this week. Geis, Thielen, Chark, McLaurin. We only start two wide receivers. I've got Fant, Gesicki, which I know, obviously know I'm weak there. Irv Smith Jr. also. We play two defensive players at each position. So defensive back, I've got Eddie Jackson. I've got Landon Collins, Deion Jones, Jaylen Smith, Brian Burns, which tweens in that league. Sam Hubbard, had Watt. I've got Yannick in that league. Got Miles Jack.
That's not
Got
bad.
Fred Warner. Like I'm comfortable with that league. I've got Ronald Jones and Darius Geis and Rashad Penny on my bench.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Who's your quarterback?
Breeze.
Oh,
Viewers, thanks for giving us questions. We appreciate it.
yeah. Love the questions.
Yeah, come back every week. Give us more questions. Questions are fun to talk about. So, Neil, parting words?
Negative.
Hux?
No, let's hope the second half of the season's better than the first.
For our fantasy teams or for football?
All of it.
All of it.
It's over already almost. That's what's sad. Then we
Yeah,
got,
I
like, then
mean,
we-
just
Goes by quick.
fantasy. You know,
Hey.
we only got 4 weeks left of the regular season, so
We got the XFL, though.
sign me up.
So
Something
let's-
like that.
A little bit of XFL fantasy. Will they have that on DraftKings?
I'd rather watch XN.
I don't know. I bet they do.
Well, who wouldn't rather? I'd rather watch XNXX than NFL.
Word.
All right, kid friendly show no more.
And I know what we're doing after the stream. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bark is out.
Good night.
See ya.
This concludes another episode of the Back Row Fantasy Show. Thanks for listening, and be sure to give us a review.